Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Maverick here, ready for yet another episode of Your Lie in April. So, last episode we finally see Kosei's performance. He had his own style, right? Not the biggest fan of the way that he actually proceeded with it, but at least it's him, right? It's him going out, going away from his mom, playing it how he wants to play it. And definitely, it's probably going to bring him closer to Kaori as well, right? So I'm interested to see how exactly the dynamic changes between him and Kaori, as well as Tsubaki. And especially in regards to his playing going forward. Now, I think he's pretty much disqualified at this point. I thought that he would continue on and, maybe even if he lost in terms of points this round to the others, still be able to go through. However, looking at the judging from last episode, I'm assuming that's probably not going to be the case, so I have no idea what exactly they're going to be doing from now on. But we did see, a foreshadowing of some other new characters at the very end of last episode, so potentially we're gonna get a new arc, I guess you could say. Again, I'm doing for this completely blind, right? So I just like to do it as my usual series, talk out loud and try and guess or predict, what's going on and what's going to happen. But anyways, let's get into the episode right now. Alrighty, let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I know, I opened the right thing. Hero. Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I think it suffices to say that it did. Whether she admits it or not, that's another story. Alright, let me skip this real quick. Karinaru. Yeah, the judge doesn't like him. Bonsai. Mm. Mr. Mediocre. That's a okay translation. Okay, so they know each other. No. She's obviously like ages older than her. Okay. 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 That must mean she's at least 40 now. She does not look anything like 40. Ah, come on. She's as old as her mom. Oh. Really? So, in a sense, she was then. Why are they like sideways? Oh? Is there actually a chance? Okay. Hmm. This might be the character that actually brings him out of the no, never mind. Never mind. You are definitely not just friend A. It's probably this call. Yeah. Hmm. Again, I don't completely approve of the translation of Kuyashi to bitter. Hmm. He actually wants to be human now. Hmm. Okay, I like this. Hmm. Yeah, that was nice. Okay, okay. Now the introspective. That's what I wanted. It's not the first time now. It's the second time, right? So now it's his pride and dignity on the line. And now in turn he wants to prove himself. Okay, so for the first time he's actually feeling, you know, having feelings of regret and whatnot. Okay, okay. Well, カオリ One music petition. Okay. Wait, but oh. And she has the keys to his house, too. Practicing, playing throughout the night. Yeah. His father, right? A girl. Hmm? Why are you guys all here now? Well, I mean, they are his close friends after all. Oh? Yeah. Just disqualified, right? Oh. The gala. Okay. I guess kinda, yeah.
君はどうする？
It's Tsubaki over there, all jealous like.
どうする？ これやりたい。
What is it?
ブライスラー、愛の悲しみ。
I don't know this song.
いいのいいの。私たちなんておまけなんだしさ。これだと絶対被らないし、渋い曲だと逆に目立つよ。ガラコンは目立ってなんぼっしょ。
Sorry. I have to look this one up. I have absolutely no idea what this is. Maybe I've heard it before, maybe not. That's quite the glossy violin.
あなたを落とした私。バイオリニスト失格なのに。もう少しだけ私と一緒にいて。小さな背中。触れれば崩れてしまいそうなくらい。よし。やろっか。何があんたをピアノに向かわせたの？4月のある日、変なバイオリニストに出会ったんです。傍若無人、ゆいが独尊。でも好きな人に見せる笑顔は天使のよう。蹴られ、殴られ、引きずり上げられた舞台には、慣れ親しんだ舞台には、僕の知らない光景があった。僕はもう一度その光景を体験したい。だから僕は思ったんです。変なピアニストになりたいなって。そう。なら、後見人は私以外いないでしょ。
Oh, it's actually gonna get entered now? That's nice. Okay.
お願いします。僕にピアノを教えてください。
Interesting.
おっと、もっと真面目にやってよ。やってるってば。初めての音合わせだもん。あんなもんだよ。9番。
Oh, I was like, did she just jump? What the hell? She completely bamboozled me. Okay. How many of you guys have went around trying to catch fireflies when you were little? When I was a kid, I did that a lot. Ah, here we get the actual.
僕ね、あの場所で感じたんだ。何かを心の奥底に持ってるんだって。ある人は敵外心かもしれない。憧れや願い、自己顕示欲、届けという思い、母さんへの思い。みんな、個人的な思いに支えられていた。無垢のままで、人は一人で舞台に立てないのかもしれない。
I don't think. I don't. I mean, there's lots of ways you can go about this. Interrupted, misunderstood. Oh. Oh. This background music is seriously loud right now.
僕は旅をする。降り注ぐ拍手。自分の音楽が届いた。あの瞬間を追い求めて。その後ろ姿を追い求めて。いつかきっと肩を並べられる。その日が来るまで。
Well,
もう帰ろう。
I guess technically that's not necessarily a love confession, right?
僕がいつもそばにいて助けてあげられるとは限らないんだよ。チャーリー・ブラウン。
Well, if that isn't some foreshadowing, then I don't know what is. Okay. Well, that ending was quite morbid forbidding, wasn't it? Dropping the title, Light of Life, and then, you know, actually showing us a firefly with its light going out, coupled with Kaori's words. Well, yeah, that's a lot to take in, isn't it? And, well, I mean, again, I'm not, I do kind of see, like, where this ending is going. I'm not entirely 100% sure how the end is actually going to go, right? But, you know, I've had my fair spoilers of, you know, this is actually a pretty sad story, so I guess I can kind of guess this part. I'm choosing to ignore it for now because it's literally, you know, it's not something that the story is currently focused on, and so I try not to think too much about all of that within that kind of context, right? If it you know, before it happens, before the anime actually shows us anything, I'm just going to, you know, not speculate too much in terms of that part. But, you know, this sort of comparison between fireflies does make a lot of sense, doesn't it? Fireflies, even though, you know, they have relatively short lifespans, but even shorter are the time when they actually go out and light up their butts, right? When they become this beautiful display of light. It's for the purpose of mating, and, you know, shortly after mating, they basically die. As I quickly found out when I tried during my childhood years, when I tried to capture a bunch of fireflies and sort of make like an artificial lamp or artificial light bulb, you know, putting them in paper bags and whatnot. I'm sure a lot of people, a lot of children have done something similar to this before. But yeah, the next few days, there were a lot of firefly corpses. So yeah, anyways, I'm not gonna expand too much on that part, although I do like the nice kind of parallel there. I also really like how they portrayed Kosei's entire situation, right? In fact, the entire, you know, throughout these 11 episodes, the anime has been trying to explain this sort of narrative to us through its references to, you know, to Kosei's friends, Tsubaki and Ryota. They play sports, and, you know, they themselves have experienced this sort of feeling of regret and sorrowfulness and bitterness by not actually being able to win, right? And we can see that. We can. It's also more relatable for most people, I guess you could say. So it does a better job of actually portraying this sort of parallel emotion back onto Kosei himself, right? And, you know, we can evidence this also by, you know, the surrounding performers as well, right? Something that what it's trying to say is, you know, what the anime is trying to say and what it's trying to actually get through to Kosei is, you know, you shouldn't take this for granted, right? You should absolutely acknowledge that this is, you know, these feelings of regret, these feelings of sorrowfulness, because you didn't advance. You know, again, it's sometimes easy, I feel, to sort of just wish-wash this away because, well, it's like, what, they're children, they're playing in a violin competition and whatnot. You know, how emotional can it actually be? But then you suddenly realize, hey, this is something that they dedicate hundreds, if not thousands of hours of their time into trying to do. And so it really drives home that sort of emotion. And I do especially love that entire scene, tracing along the train, running around, just trying to get his emotion out in some sort of way. I love it. I like it. It's not explicit, right? But you can clearly see what it's trying to do, and it's a pretty realistic way of looking at. Well, I say realistic. It's a realistic and romantic way of looking at this kind of situation, right? Of course, real life probably. I don't know. You might not be able to do something like that, but it's something that lots of people can relate with. So I did like the entire portrayal on that part as well. And speaking of portrayal, and especially with this kind of topic here, I do feel like this anime, perhaps even more than I originally thought, has these coming of age elements within them. And this actually brings me to the point where, this point about having Kaori as what he had in his heart while he was playing, right? So I'm actually thinking right now that perhaps we need to look at Arima Kosei the pianist and Arima Kosei the person separately, right? Because okay, so on a personal level, yeah, he's definitely attracted by Kaori, and I was probably in love with her in some way, shape, or form. But at the same time, his aspirations of a pianist, I feel like it's kind of different, right? So even in this sense, you can't really say that it's a confession of some sorts. It doesn't really feel like that, and I don't think that's what the anime was trying to go for in this scene either. I mean, I'm sure that the actual romantic feelings and whatnot, there's probably going to be a time and place for that later, but here I feel like it's purely from the basis of being a musician, right? And I think that is what it was trying to portray here, and so yeah, I do like this kind of distinction as well. And okay, and I guess there's some time left. Let's talk a little bit about the music for the next few episodes, right? So again, I did not expect him to actually fall out of the competition. So apparently they're going to be playing at a gala dinner, a gala reception now. And the piece that they chose was Chrysler's Liebeslied, I believe it's called. Liebeslied. It's German, right? So, and again, this is a piece that I personally have not heard before. I'm not actually that involved with classical music, but I did go and take a look at it, listen to different interpretations of it, performance of it, and took a look at the sheet music. Honestly, it's not that hard of a piece, I feel. It does have some weird timings. Actually, sorry, not weird timings, weird rhythms. The timing is fairly simple. It's just in 3/4. But the rhythm is sort of kind of unique in its way. But again, it's not something that's not going to be easily resolved by a metronome or just listening to the song a few times, right? The actual notes itself, the actual playing itself, isn't actually that hard. It's not that technically difficult. However, I feel like this is one of those pieces where it's easy to play, but very difficult to actually sound good and master. And what I mean by this is because there's a lot of nuance in. This is getting a little bit technical here, but there's a lot of nuance in the bowing hand, your bow control, right? Your right hand, at least for right-handed violin players. There's a lot of nuance there where you need to be able to be very soft, and you need to, well, at least for me anyways, when I was playing the violin, it was the biggest challenge for me was always to the bow control, and especially places where you need to play softly, especially because of the very special rhythm that this piece has. There's a lot of places where your bow is flying all over the place, but you still need to enter into a note softly, if you will. And that is actually, again, that is something that you only get through lots and lots of repetition, lots and lots of practice. It's fundamental work, right? It's not being flashy, it's not being a virtuoso or something. It's fundamentals. How good are you at your fundamentals in order to play this piece correctly and sound great at it? So it's definitely a more, you know, a lower, you know, what was the word that they try to use? It's not flashy at all. It's more subdued, right? And definitely it definitely kind of fits into this sort of gala type of music, gala type of situation. But yeah, it's something that you're going to have to use a lot of care, put a lot of emotion into it. Let's see how Kaori interprets it, right? So yeah, that covers my review for this episode, and I'll see you guys next time. Stay tuned. Bye bye.